high school, the entire school has only boys, but the subject here is one student. So a student at an all boys high school should be on his best behavior. So it's there. THERE is also there. THEIR is also there. Let me quickly clarify this. A lot of people do not understand and they interchange this. Okay. So there THEIR is a possession noun. There is a preposition. So please do not get confused here. Both are pronounced the same way. For example, let me zoom this. Please keep the book there. Okay. So there is basically a particular place. So that's why it's a preposition. Now when I say there is THEIR, that's a possession noun. The group will arrive at 8 p.m. And they will make their arrangement. Whose arrangement? Their arrangement. So THEIR is a possession noun. THERE is a preposition. So don't get confused there. So a student at an all boys high school should be on his best behavior. Neither Mary nor Dash knew why the store was closed. Now whenever you have neither Mary, it should be nor I. Now here is an important element which you need to understand. In case if I am talking about more than one person, that includes me as well. So I as a first person. So here is an example. So if I am talking about 2-3 people or even 2 people, and that includes me in the list, we always make a mistake. We put ourselves in first, or we use ourselves first person as I. For example, Harsha, Subhash and me went for shopping. Now that sentence is incorrect grammatically. Let me show you why it is incorrect. This is how people usually speak, right? Now there is a fundamental grammatical mistake here. So basically I'm talking about 3 people here, Harsha, Subhash and me, that is the first person. So Harsha, Subhash and me went for shopping. Now imagine if these 2 gentlemen are not in the list. Can I say me went for shopping? No, that's incorrect. Another way of making a mistake where people usually use this, me, Harsha and Subhash went for shopping. Now here again, if I remove these 2 gentlemen, it still becomes me went for shopping, which means this is incorrect. So what am I supposed to do? The correct form is I went for shopping. Now whenever you are talking about one person, that is yourself, first person, I went for shopping is fine. But in case if I am adding another person, even 1 or 2, so it becomes Subhash and I went for shopping, or I can add more number of people, Harsha, Subhash and I went for shopping. So whenever you're talking about yourself in a group and you have to specifically mention the persons as well as yourself, you will always, or the first person will always be in the end. Okay. So here neither Mary nor I knew why the store was closed. I can't say me knew why the store was closed. No, the correct form is I knew why the store was closed. That's why I is the correct option here. Next, after the training, you and dash must discuss a few things. Again, same situation. After the training, you and I must discuss a few things. Alright. Now, moving on to adjective. Now, every noun, when it gets qualified, when I'm adding a quality or a type to a noun, that is basically adjective as a part of speech. So, an adjective describes, modifies or gives more information about a noun or pronoun as well, because pronoun is a substitute for noun. Examples: big, happy, green, young, fun, crazy, tree, all these are adjective. For example, the little girl had a pink hat. Now the girl is noun. So let me take this example. Okay. I hope you can see that's blue. Okay. So the blue is nothing but your noun. The little girl had a pink hat. Now if I remove this, the girl had a hat, but what kind of hat? Pink hat. What kind of girl? The little girl. So anything that is adding quality, that is describing or modifying the noun or pronoun is adjective. Now there are different types of adjective which you need to know. Something that adds quality, for example, dangerous chemicals, green vegetables, a square box. Quantity as well. So not just quality but also quantity. He has eaten 3 apples. I don't have much money. This long, thin centipede has many legs. So long, thin is also an adjective here. Demonstrative, something that is displaying or demonstrating. This red balloon is mine and those 3 yellow ones are yours. This cute baby is his brother. That cute baby is his sister. So anything that is denoting something is also an adjective. Now adjective in terms of singular and plural also you need to know. For example, my will become our, your will remain same, his, her, its. Remember I spoke about the possessions. So that's a possessive noun for adjective. Now here are some more examples to quickly test your knowledge. I dash a new bike yesterday. Please make a note of this question. Think and tell me what is the correct answer. I bought a new bike yesterday. So the correct answer is A. If you don't hurry up now, you dash late for school. Question number 2. If you don't hurry up now, you dash late for school. You have been, you are, you will be. Okay, the correct answer is C, you will be. If you don't hurry up now, you will be late for school. Number 3, I would spend my holidays in London if I dash enough money. I would spend my holiday in London if I had. Now if you already have, then you will be in London. Had because you actually don't have. If I had enough money. Number 4, they dash water sports. They are not, they like not, they do not like water sports. The correct answer is C, they do not like water sports. I dash for shopping tomorrow. I will be going for shopping tomorrow. I will go for shopping tomorrow. I went for shopping tomorrow. Now, this is a matter of tense. Here, went is past tense. So, went is past tense of go. Now, tomorrow is future. So, I can't use see. A is a continuous form. I need not use that. So, B is a definite form. I will go for shopping tomorrow. Ram and his team, that's number 6. Ram and his team dash recently won a tournament. To answer this question correctly, you need to understand something called, now let me quickly explain this to you. I'm not sure how many of you have heard this particular term. Subject verb agreement. Now, what do we mean by subject verb agreement? Let me quickly demonstrate that to you. I'm going to switch over to another aspect, which is subject verb agreement. Let me see if I have created some kind of okay, here we go. So we are talking about subject verb agreement. This is because the subject should always be in sync with verb. What I mean by this, if the subject is singular, I need to use a singular verb. If the subject is plural, I need to use a plural verb. Now, as simple as it sounds, we always make a mistake. So the reason I put the Superman symbol, in case if you have he, she, it, or any of singular form of verb, the singular form of subject, you will use a singular form of verb. What do I mean by this? See here, the players and the umpire is or are tired. Okay, the second sentence is the players or the umpire is or are tired. So what do we need to do here? Now, when I'm using and, I'm combining two singular forms. That becomes plural. So I will use the plural form of verb. Now, how do I identify what is singular form of verb and plural form of word? Let me quickly demonstrate that to you. So if you want to use a singular verb, add s. At the end of the verb. Okay. Example, plays, works, sings. Now, in case if I have to use the plural form, now when I have to use a plural form, if I have to use plural form, drop the s at the end of the verb, which means if I have to talk about the same examples, I will remove the s at the end of the verb. So remember it that way. If it's a singular verb, add s. If it's plural verb, drop the s. So in case if your subject is singular, use s at the end of the verb. If the subject is plural, drop the s at the end of the verb. Okay. Let me show you some examples to help you understand this better. I'm going to use all singular verbs here. He plays cricket. She sings very well. It rains every evening. So if you pay attention to the verbs here, action, I am adding an S at the end of it because my subject is singular. Now if I have to use a plural verb, plural subject, they play cricket. They, or for example, she is singing very well. Now that my subject is plural, I just say they are singing very well because are is a plural form of is. It rains every day. Now there cannot be a situation in terms of a climate for plurality, so we'll leave it at that. Okay. So when you have a situation like this where you are bound to get confused, the players and umpire is tired or are tired, it should be are tired. That's because when I'm using and, I'm combining these two. Even if it's player and umpire, I'm combining. But in the second case, this is where you will get confused. The players or the umpire is tired or are tired. Here you will use is tired because this is an or situation. So if it is or, after the or, the subject, the closest subject is umpire, which is singular form. And if I have a singular subject, I will use singular verb. Okay. So when we look at some more questions, you will be able to identify more such situation. Now when you see a question, you will be able to identify what should be the correct answer. Alright. So let's move on. Let's look at this question again. Number 6. Ram and his team dash recently won a tournament. Now this is a trick question because Ram is part of the team and team is a collective form, it just won. Ram and his team have recently won? No. Ram and his team has, because it's a singular form. The subject is singular, so I'll use has. Number 7, please make a note of this question. They dash put in all the hard work for the success of the team. They dash put in all the hard work for the success of the team. Now they is a plural form. Now if I have a plural form, I will use plural verb. What is the rule? Drop the S. So I have this particular verb which doesn't have an S. So I will use they have put in all the hard work for the team. Number 8, I think we dash the training session next quarter. Now next quarter means it's in the future. I think we dash the next session, the training session next quarter. I think we begin. No, we will begin the training session next quarter. We are beginning. No, that's not the right form. We are going to begin. That is again a incorrect form because it's a transliteration. So we will begin the training session next quarter. Tomorrow we dash at 2 p.m. Tomorrow we will meet. We meet. We are going to meet. We are meeting. So number 9, this is very easy. So look at the question and think what is the correct answer. Tomorrow we will meet at 2 p.m. So A. Could you please dash me some money? Could you please borrow me or lend me? Borrow means take from me. Lend means give me. So could you please lend me some money? Number 11. I don't mind dash if you are tired. I don't mind to drive. I don't mind driving. I don't mind to be driving. I don't mind drive. So number 11, look at it, think and answer. I don't mind driving if you are tired. So option B. They arrived dash we were having dinner. They arrived while we were having dinner, when we were having dinner, during we were having dinner, for we were having dinner. So number 12, think what is the correct answer, and meanwhile you will see the number flash on your screen, 040-2354-0326, or the toll-free number 1-800-425-4039. If you have any questions about the portions that's been completed so far, which is pronunciation and a little aspects of grammar, if you have any questions, please call and ask your question. I will provide you the answer. Alright, so let's continue with number 12. They arrived while we were having dinner. So A is the correct answer. Number 13, they have sold dash car which they won in a lottery. They have sold dash car which they won in a lottery. T-H-E-R-E there, T-H-E-I-R there. This is fairly easy. I just spoke about difference between preposition and possession noun or pronoun. But here it's a trick question. The correct answer is C. In this case, they have won the car in the lottery. So denotively speaking, C is the correct answer. They have sold the car which they won in a lottery. Number 14, I dash worked for this company since 1998. I worked, I am working, I work, I have worked. Now, to answer this question, we need to understand something fundamental. Now, let me explain. This is one mistake where a lot of us get confused or make a mistake. From versus since. Okay? This is a preposition in terms of time. If I'm using from, I should be using from when I have specifics on when did it start and when did it end. Okay? I will use since when the stated time continues. What do I mean by this? Let me show you an example. I lived in Bangalore from 2004 till 2006, which means it has ended. So I can use the word from. If I have to continue in the same way, I am living in Hyderabad since 10 years, which means I am still living there, which means the time is still continuing. Okay? So question number 14, when you look at it, I dash for this company since 1998, which means I am still working there. So the correct answer is B. I am working for this company since 98. Number 15, she dashed me to help her develop an IT training program. she has asked, she have asked. Can I use have? I just spoke about subject verb agreement, right? I can't use have because she is a singular form. She has asked me to help her to develop an IT training program. So option A. So verb types, verb is action. It signals an action, an occurrence, or a state of being, whether mental, physical, or mechanical. Verb always expresses activity, right? Anything in terms of action. Verbs in English have 4 basic parts. Now pay attention. The base form, the ing form, which is a continuous form, the past tense form, the past participle. Now something that you need to remember, we have studied all this in our school, right? We went through basic grammar in our school days, but we don't really remember the rules, but we only remember the usage. Look at it this way. There is something that has already happened, which is past. There is something which is present, a perfect present or continuous form. For example, I am talking, which means it's going on right now. Or I will talk tomorrow, that's a future tense. I spoke yesterday, and that is past tense. Any action that we are talking about, that action has to be relative to a time. Has it happened? Is it happening now, or will it happen in the future? Okay, so keep that in mind in terms of these aspects. A verb has to be in sync with tense. Let's look at some examples. The lines are still open, so please do call. It starts with an expression, hi, I dash you in a long time. How have you been? I was seen, I saw, I haven't seen, I hadn't seen. So think and answer. What is the correct answer for question number 1? Option C is the correct answer. Hi, I haven't seen you in a long time. How have you been? Number 2, yesterday I dashed to see my grandparents. Yesterday is a past tense, so I need to use an option which is past. Yesterday I have gone. Yesterday I gone. No. Yesterday I went to see my grandparents. Number 3, some people say that it is better to dash for today. Better to, this is a proverb, right? It's a saying. Better to is living, better to living, better to lives, better to live. It's better to live for today. Have you ever dashed to Canada? Now have you ever basically means, it's a past tense. Have you ever been to Canada? Being is a state. Been means if there was an action involved there. Albert doesn't like dash on weekends. Albert doesn't like working. Albert doesn't like to work. Albert doesn't like work. Now doesn't like work doesn't make sense. So our answer 1 and 2 are correct. So option D is perfect. He occasionally is a headache in the morning. He occasionally should be a headache in the morning. He occasionally might be, could be. Now this is in terms of an adjective. So all of the above are correct. So we have various such questions. You can look up simple tests online as well. You will find tons of questions. The best way to learn is to test yourself and find what is the correct answer. We cannot learn grammar in terms of rules anymore. We already learned it, but we don't remember because we don't use it. So if you remember it in terms of usage, if you keep practicing, if you keep testing yourself, that will help you remember for a long time. So grammar is something which is extensive, but you need to put yourself in use. I cannot teach you in a classroom environment. Even when the lines are open, nobody is actually calling and asking questions. So I don't know what seems to be wrong there. So in the next session, that is on Monday, I'll move on to verbal ability, where we will look at certain instances, how to solve certain questions in certain situations. If you have questions, please post your questions on the YouTube channel. I'll take a look and provide you the answer. And thanks for tuning in. Make the best use of your day. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session. So we are continuing with the communication skill aspect for ESC. So today I'm going to talk about the last two pillars, which is vocabulary and fluency. So what do we mean by vocabulary? So we all have challenges when it comes to using the right word. When we are speaking in English, like I said, we are thinking in a vernacular language, translating that to English directly. But sometimes we fail to understand what words to be used precisely to meet a particular context. Say for example, if I write a particular sentence, I'm going to demonstrate the issue that we face in terms of vocabulary. So there are two sentences I'm going to write. Just a moment. Okay. The medicine, let me add has here. The medicine has expired and hence it cannot be given to a patient, right? Now, the word that I'm going to talk about here is expired. We end up using this word in some other context as well. For example, if I say, the college management has declared a holiday as the founding member has expired. Now this is just an example. Now in India, we use this word expired even when somebody passes away or somebody dies. So ideally, what should be used here is has passed away. So instead of using expired here, in this context, the word expired doesn't make sense because expired is used for medicines or anything that is perishable in nature. Okay. Now, if I have another word which is very, very frequently used, it is compulsory to fill the form for the registration, or say "75% attendance is compulsory to attend the exam. It is compulsory to fill the form for the registration." Now what is happening here is I'm using the same word in both the sentences. I can have a few more examples. For example, it's a statement. Please wait, the doctor will compulsorily come by 5 p.m. So I'm using the same word in 3 different contexts. Now, as per the rule of vocabulary, I need to look at the context as well. So here, the correct word is mandatory. 75% attendance is mandatory to attend the exam. Please wait, the doctor will surely come by 5 p.m. Or let me try another sentence. I will definitely pay the loan. So here I am using the word definitely. Okay. So I have compulsory, mandatory, surely, definitely. Instead of using these three words, we end up using the word compulsory again and again. So that's exactly what vocabulary is all about. A set of words within a language that are familiar to the person. The word bank, synonyms and antonyms that you are aware of. So the problems that we face is lack of word bank. For example, in this particular situation, I had 3 other words, but instead of using that, I keep on using the word compulsory. So that is because there is a lack of word bank, lack of synonyms or substitute words, not knowing what is the context I am using it for, lack of reading and writing practice, comprehension of common words. Now this comprehension of common words is a very, very big factor why we lack vocabulary, why we do not understand what words to be used when we are speaking. We hear words, but we do not understand the meaning of it. Or we hear we see something, but we don't know what is the word for it. Say for example, the word oracle, O-R-A-C-L-E. You ask anyone, what do you mean by oracle? They will say it's the name of a company. But it also has a meaning. Oracle means prediction, prophecy, the word from the sky, Akashvani that we say in our language. So that is oracle. The word like cognizant. Cognizant, again, you ask someone, what do you mean by cognizant? They will say it's a name of a IT company. But it also has a meaning. Cognizant means being aware of something, having the knowledge of something. So that is what the word cognizant means. So we hear a lot of words, but we don't understand the meaning, we don't understand the application of it, or we see things but we don't know what is the English term for it. So when you read a lot, when you write a lot, you will build on your skills, your competencies, or your ability to build on your vocabulary as well. So the best way to build vocabulary is to keep on practicing, keep on reading a lot. Please always refer to the dictionary, because the dictionary will also give you the meaning of the word in context of a sentence, and it also give you synonyms. Okay, so the tips to build vocabulary is to read regularly, to listen. When you listen to good speakers, that also helps. Make use of a dictionary or thesaurus. Thesaurus basically is a book that gives you the synonyms and antonyms as well. Substitute words and opposite words. Learn a word every day in order to understand what it means, that is comprehension, the context, in what context it can be used, and the usage, and get into the practice of writing. So let's quickly look at some examples to practice. Here we need to fill the blank with one of the word that is given in the option. Hardness is a dash of steel, a property, a substance, a material, a structure. So you need to look at the context of this sentence and pick the right option. Hardness is a property of steel means a nature of steel. So that's why A, property, is the correct answer. Now, property word is also used in terms of assets. I spent 50 lakhs to buy a property. So again, this is what vocabulary is all about, where you understand the context of the word. For example, if I'm talking about a particular training program and I have designed certain content, so that's my intellectual property. Here again, it becomes like an asset. Foods such as, now I'm looking at number 2, foods such as bread and rice dash energy for the body. It controls energy for the body? No. Lose energy for the body? No. Prevent energy for the body? No. Provide. It provides energy for the body. Now the word provide here again can be used in a different context. Look at this example. I'm going to use the word provide as well as provided in two different possibilities or two different contexts. Please provide your contact details so that I can register you. Means please give me your contact details so that I can register you. Now, I can use the word provide or provided in another context. I can come for the meeting provided there is a formal invitation. Now here, the word provided means if there is a formal invitation. Number 3, the tissues, organs and systems of a body dash the living organism. Now a living organism has tissues, organs and systems. So system of a body of a living organism has tissues and organs. That is what it means. The tissues, organs and system of a body consist of a living organism. If you use the word consist of, that means every tissue has living organism in it. But that is not what it means. It means every living organism has tissues and organs in it. So the correct answer is A. So the tissues, organs and system of a body consist of the living organism, constitute living organism, contain living organism, include. So the tissues, organs and system of a body. B, option B. So I try to trick you there. Constitute a living organism means the tissues, organs and system of a body makes a living organism. It constitute living organism. Now the reason I did not use constitutes, I use constitute because we are also looking at subject verb agreement. My subject here is plural, which means I will drop the S at the end of this verb. Number 4, the door was so dash that the X-ray machine would not go through it. The door was so thin, so close, so minor, so narrow. Now what word can I use here? Thin, close, minor, narrow. I should use the word narrow because thin is not applicable. Narrow is in terms of width, right? So the door was so narrow that the X-ray machine would not go through it. Before Muhammad repaired the engine, he dashed it carefully. He recognized it, he examined it, he saw it, he cited it. Now this is fairly easy, just think and answer. Before Muhammad repaired the engine, he examined it carefully. So option B. The upper part of the leg is called jaw, scalp, thigh, ankle. Now jaw is not an answer because it's on the face, scalp is on the head, we are talking about the leg. So the upper part is ankle? No, ankle is the lower part. Upper part is the thigh. The upper part of the leg is called the thigh. Number 7. For good health, everyone needs dash exercise. Almost exercise, inadequate exercise, excessive exercise, sufficient exercise. For good health, everyone needs sufficient. Option D, sufficient exercise. In the alphabet, the letter B dash the letter A. Letter B follows letter A, ascends, precedes, comes. In the alphabet system, the letter B precedes letter A or follows. It should be follows because it's after. Precede means before, pre. So precedes is before, follows is after. Number 9, the river has been seriously contaminated. What you need to do here, you need to replace the underlined word with one of the options. The river has been seriously contaminated, dried up, diverted, polluted, obstructed. What do we mean by contamination? Contamination means pollution. So the river has been seriously contaminated. That means it's been polluted. Number 10, oil dash friction between moving parts so that they can move more easily. Oil dash friction between moving parts so they can move more easily. It permits friction, reduces friction, releases friction, and protects friction. What do you think is the correct answer here? The correct answer is it reduces friction. 10B. What do the experts forecast? What do we mean by forecast? To deny, to declare, to prefer, to predict. It's option D, predict. Forecasting means prediction. The markings on the thermometer make a scale, make extremes, a reading, a grid. So thermometer has markings, right? What do you do with it? You read. It makes a reading. So 12C. Some questions on synonyms and antonyms for you. Synonym of brief. Synonym means similar word. Brief, limited, small, little, short. Now little and small is in terms of size. Here it's brief, that means option D is the answer. 13D, synonym of brief is short. Synonym of embezzle. Embezzle means to take money from something and put it somewhere else illegally. So option A is the correct answer. Synonym of embezzle is misappropriate. We keep reading, right? Misappropriation of fund, embezzlements of fund by politicians, by CEOs, CFOs. So embezzle means misappropriation or using the money illegally for some other purpose. Synonym of August. Now August is a month, but it also has a meaning. So synonym of August is common, ridiculous, dignified, petty. We use this sentence, right? You are invited for the August occasion of my birthday, wedding anniversary. So C is the correct answer. Synonym of August is dignified. Synonym of alert. Alert means being energetic, being observant, being intelligent, being watchful. Alert means being watchful. Observe means you are just observing but not taking any action. Watchful means you watch and then take an action. That's alert. Synonym of reckless. This is very easy. Reckless means rash, courageous, bold, daring. Rash driving, reckless driving. So A is the correct answer. Synonym of consequences. Consequences is something that always comes after the action. So the results. Application difficulties are wrong. Synonym of consequences is results. Synonym of tolerant. Tolerant means open-minded, close-minded, arrogant. The correct answer here is open-minded. Tolerant means you accept anything which is other than what your belief system is. Synonym of abundant. Now I need to show you something. There is a word which is abundant and there is a word which is abandoned. Just a moment, I need to change the spelling, okay? Now, both have different meaning, but people use these two words interchangeably and they make a mistake. Abundant means excess. So synonym of abundant is ripe, cheap, plenty, absent. So C is the correct answer, plenty or excess. Okay. Abundant means to leave without providing any help. For example, I'm just going to give you examples here. There is an abundant supply of fertilizers for the farmers, which means excess or more than what is required, plenty. Now, abundant, let me give you example for that. So abundant means excess or plenty. There is an abundant supply of fertilizers for the farmers. Abandoned means to leave without providing any help. The police team abandoned the people who were stuck in the floods. Okay. Now here you will see a sentence and you need to pick one word substitute. Okay. It will also help you understanding the meaning of the words. A person of good understanding, knowledge and reasoning power. You call that person an expert, intellectual, snob, literate. Now literate means somebody who can read and write. Snob means somebody who is arrogant. Expert means who's proficient in one or two specific areas. But here the question is, a person with good understanding, knowledge and reasoning power who can take the right decision. So the correct answer is B, intellectual. List of business or subjects to be considered at a meeting. So before a meeting we always list down what needs to be discussed. What do we call it? Schedule, timetable. Now schedule and timetable are pretty much the same. Plan, agenda. Now plan is much more broader aspect. Agenda is the correct answer. Agenda is basically the list of items that needs to be discussed. Leave or remove from a place considered dangerous. So you are in a building, suddenly there is an earthquake, what do? You evade, you evacuate, you avoid, you exterminate. So evacuate is the correct answer. Option B, leave or remove from a place considered dangerous. A person pretending to be somebody he is not. A person pretending to be somebody he is not. Magician, rogue, liar, imposter. The correct answer here is imposter. Imposter is a person who pretends to be somebody he is not. One who possesses many talents, somebody who is multi-talented. What do you call that person? Versatile, nubile, exceptional, gifted. You call that person versatile, who is good in more than one area. So A is the correct answer, 5A, versatile. 6. A person interested in collecting, studying and selling old things. antiquarian, junk dealer, crank, archaeologist. Now, archaeologist is a person who studies civilization by digging up, right? Monuments. So here we are talking about something which is collected and also sold and bought. So antiquarian, somebody who deals with antique stuff. Antiquarian is the correct answer. A drawing on transparent paper, a blueprint, red print, negative, transparency. Correct answer is blueprint. A small shop that sells fashionable clothes and cosmetics. A store, a stall, a boutique, a booth. Now stall and booth are temporary, but here it says a small shop, but it deals with only fashionable clothes and cosmetics. So it's called a boutique. C. An object which is used to calculate distance. Speedometer, barometer, odometer, thermometer. Now thermometer is used to measure temperature, right? Speedometer is to calculate speed. Barometer to calculate pressure. Odometer, now you have seen odometer on all the modern bikes, cars. There is a meter which you can keep changing. So which keeps changing. There is something which you can reset, that's called a trip meter, to measure the distance between for a specific trip. Odometer is the numbers which keeps scrolling, right? So that's odometer. A disease of mind causing an uncontrollable desire to steal. There are some people who have this problem. Even though they are rich, they keep stealing from stores and houses. That's called schizophrenia, claustrophobia, kleptomania, megalomania. Megalomania means somebody who thinks he is the greatest. Claustrophobia, who has the fear of being trapped in a small enclosure, small space. Schizophrenia means somebody who has split personality disorder. So correct answer is kleptomania. Now again, there are some more synonyms for you. Hesitated means stopped, paused, slowed, postponed. Now when you hesitate, you're doing something, you hesitate but you still do it, right? Hesitate means you pause for a while. So pause is the correct answer. Neutral. Neutral means unbiased, non-aligned, undecided, indifferent. The correct answer is A. Neutral means unbiased. Feeble. Feeble means weak, vain, arrogant, sick. Feeble means weak. Now, don't make a mistake between W-E-A-K and W-E-E-K. Both are pronounced the same way. A week is basically 7 days. W-E-A-K means something which is not strong. Okay, so feeble means weak. Restraint, hindrance, repression, obstacle, restriction. Please restrain the protesters from coming inside the meeting room. That means to restrict. 14D. Antonym. Antonym means opposite word. Toil. Toil means working hard, kind of a coil, being lazy, being unwell. Toil itself means working hard. That means the opposite is being lazy. C. Submissive. Aggressive, passive, assertive, obstructive. Submissive means somebody who accepts everything anybody else says. Aggressive means somebody who always opposes. So A is the correct answer. Opposite of submissive is aggressive. Choose the word which best expresses the meaning of the word shallow. Here again we are looking at synonyms. Shallow means artificial, foolish, superficial. We usually say that, right? This person has a shallow personality. That means he is not showing what he is in real. So superficial is the correct answer. Choose the word which best expresses the meaning of the word diversion or diversion. So diversion, distortion, deviation, obstruction or obstructive. Diversion means deviation. Now let's look at antonyms. Choose a word which best expresses, this is not looking opposite. Let's look at the opposite antonyms here. Choose a word which is exactly opposite of the word crowded. Deserted, empty, quiet. Now quiet, there are two ways to spell it. Quiet means little or some. Quiet means silence. Q-U-I-E-T is pronounced as quiet. Quiet means Q-U-I-T-E. So choose the word which exactly opposite of the word crowded means deserted. Deserted means there is nobody there. Now desert is different, deserted is different. Alright. Choose the word which is exactly opposite of the word flimsy. Flimsy means something which is not meaningful. So meaningful is the right word here. Opposite of confess, deny, refuse, contest. Confession, what do we mean by confession? When we accept our mistake. So we deny, refuse. Refuse is different, deny is different, okay? So deny is the correct answer. So that's about the vocabulary aspect. Now as far as the fluency is concerned, it's basically ability to bring together the pronunciation, grammar and vocabulary and speaking accurately and speaking well. The reason you lose confidence or lose the fluency, it's because you do not practice much. So when you're speaking to people around, speak as much as possible, read and write as much as possible. By the time you are in the final year, by the time you start going for interviews, you will be absolutely perfect with your ability to speak, ability to read and write. The best way to learn is to practice, to speak to people, to keep reading and writing every day. Try to hear something every day, maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes on YouTube channel. Try to listen to different kind of speech, watch some interesting programs in English. If any word you come across which you do not know the meaning of, try looking it up in the dictionary and start using those words. That's the best way you can learn these words. Alright, so I hope this was helpful. Feel free to post your comment on the comment section on the YouTube channel. I'll take a look and provide you with the answer. Have a great day. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.